right now,
I'm
we're
pumped.
at the moment we've
This is
all
it.
been waiting for. Our first guest here on Good Morning Delaware. We have the Naomi Townsend, our food influencer around town, especially in the entire state of Delaware. No stranger to visiting restaurants, no stranger to knowing good food and places to dine. Welcome, Naomi.
Thanks for being here, Naomi.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. This is exciting.
I'm so excited. So I have to share right away. Matt, I know Naomi.
I was going to ask, is there...
Yes, we have an established friendship
Okay,
as the food background, but
Right.
also pageant background.
Really?
Naomi has a pageant background,
Okay.
so I was obviously gravitating towards
Right.
her.
Two worlds
Yes,
collide.
Right.
exactly. But she started in pageantry, but then social media influencing and food influencing really is where you thrive, and you are just killing the game. So let's get right
Yeah,
into it.
I'd love to
Naomi,
learn
tell
more.
us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So, born and raised Wilmington, Delaware. I've lived there my whole life. I love my home state. And I also love to eat. You know, I grew up with a foodie family, a lot of cooking, a lot of watching, Iron Chef, Chopped, all that. So, for me, it just came naturally that as I got older, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to try out the social media thing. I think I'm going to take some pictures of my dinner, maybe when I'm cooking, you know, put it out there. And then I just got obsessed. And then I realized after one of my videos had gone viral that this was like a huge help for restaurants in Delaware. I mean, people were getting business from the video. They were saying, hey, I saw Naomi's video. Can I get exactly what she ordered? Or, you know, something like that. So it kind of started me up on it. And, you know, now we're here and I've done a ton of restaurants. I have like a ton of favorites now. I mean, I've tried food that I didn't think I would ever try and like, you know, like I've tried raw scallop, raw shrimp, alligator burgers. So it's been pretty
Wow.
adventurous. Yeah. Being
How was alligator burgers?
Yeah.
It was actually really good. Think about the texture of lobster, but the flavor of chicken.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
I think I might like it then. I think I might like it. So I've had the honor of Naomi dining at V&M Bistro.
I was going to ask if you've heard of a V&M
And
Bistro.
that's we connected actually at the Delaware Restaurant Association Women of Hospitality Conference. That's when we really connected.
Yes.
And I instantly, we talked about our pageant background, but I instantly wanted to invite her to V&M Bistro. And it was the best decision we made. Still to this day, I think it was last year.
I think so.
I think it was
so.
last year. Yes, around last year, you visited the restaurant, did a fantastic reel and social media review and everything. And we had so much great feedback and return. And still to this day, people see that video. Just this past weekend, someone mentioned, they said they saw
It still
your
gets likes,
video.
so I'm not
Right,
surprised. I'll
yes.
get like a notification. I'm like, oh, V&M Bistro,
There you
great.
go. So
you know?
it just goes to show the importance of what you're doing for small businesses, especially in Delaware and restaurants. And we appreciate and value that. You're not just an influencer, you're a creator. And you're creating these beautiful videos, and it takes a lot of time to do.
I can
It
imagine.
really
I was gonna
does.
ask
And,
you about
and
those.
I think we need to touch on that, because I think that's something that many don't understand. The time that goes into creating this beautiful edited,
Aesthetically pleasing.
exactly,
you know,
lighting,
capturing
everything.
Yeah.
For, I guess you would say it's a minute to 2 minutes?
Not even, sometimes like 40 seconds.
Right, very
40 seconds
quick.
to a minute. Yeah.
You have to be able to capture the beauty of where you're visiting and the delicious food, obviously, in under a minute.
Yeah.
And it takes time and effort to put it together just for social media and making sure that it does get the visibility it deserves. And you understand that. And I definitely want to touch on that more.
Yeah. I would love to know, just from beginning to end, as someone who's not an influencer, you know, what's the process like? How do you plan? How long are you there at a restaurant? Like, can you walk us through that?
I can be, so typically the restaurants will reach out to me, or, you know, I'll reach out to them and we'll work something out. You know, I'll make it crystal clear of, you know, I'm going to do one reel, this many story posts, this many pictures. And then I show up, usually I have a point of contact. My background is in hospitality and sales, so I'm very, you know, specific with the expectations. I treat this like a business.
Sure.
But I'm usually at the restaurant for about like 2 or 3 hours, depending. If it's just like a little, you know, ice cream shop or something, like a breakfast spot, those are like 1 to 2 hours, but a full-blown restaurant, sitting down, drinks, courses, that's like 3 hours sometimes. And then you go home and I'm looking at content all night. You know, I'm editing, I'm trying to find the best angle, the best lighting. You know, I also have these 2 bright lights with me when I'm in the restaurant, because I want to capture the whole gist, the whole
Right.
vibe of the restaurant.
And Naomi, are you doing this like, one-man show? Or are you going in there alone?
So usually I have someone with me. It's actually
Okay.
usually my husband.
Okay.
He's the best. He's wonderful. I mean, like, he'll give me his opinion on what he thinks. We'll rework the table. He understands the vision, and he's helped me from shooting the content to making the captions and editing and stuff. He's like my right hand when it comes to it.
And
Yeah.
even tasting the food and the beverage, which is just as important
Right.
to
Very
give
important.
a
Well, if you need a
real,
substitute for
authentic
that,
review.
call me. If you need a substitute for that part,
That
I'm
would be
your,
great
I'm your
for
guy.
that.
As long as you like your food cold, we'll be all good.
That's right. What is it? Phone eats first, right? The
Exactly.
Phone
Oh,
eats first.
Okay.
Sometimes phone is the only thing that eats. I
Yes.
sit there because it's like it's hard. I've developed really good self-control with this because I want to get the perfect angle. I want to get the perfect shot. So if that means that I can't bite into this lovely filet mignon with, caviar, then I'll have to wait. I have to wait and eat it another time, or, take a bite just so I can know what it tastes like, so I can write about it and speak from experience, and then, save the rest. So.
And I can share with all those listening and Matt that I've seen Naomi in action, not just once, twice, because I have two businesses. I have an ice cream shop, and it is a very different experience because it's a little bit faster. However, you have to go very fast because soft serve ice cream melts within seconds.
Right.
So we were shooting it quick. That's probably your fastest one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, angle done. Okay.
Yep.
Next one done.
Right?
All right.
Yep, it's quick. But for dine-in full-service restaurants, she takes the time to go through everything. And I'm going to share this because I think it's important for those listening that may be interested in reaching out to you and inviting you to their restaurant that you really take the time to go through everything. She journals and making sure she's taking notes, make sure she matches the dish with the right name, the explanation, the description of it,
spelling.
right, the spelling, which I'm big on, and I
right.
appreciate that your attention to detail is not just in the photo, but the description and the caption, because that paints the picture too. And I know some may not read the caption and they just scroll, but there are many that do read it because they want to know what you're eating, what are you featuring. So you do take the time to write down everything in that moment. Some advice for some restaurants, I will say this, some advice for restaurants that may want to bring you on is give you grace. Put you in a place where you're not disrupting the other diners because you have to have that additional lighting.
Absolutely.
Because most restaurants at night are dim. Very dim lighting.
Right.
The lighting it's
the last thing I want to do is disrupt someone else's dining
Of course,
experience.
right.
I don't want to do that. And I actually make it a point to say, hey guys, I'm going to have 2 really bright lights with me. Why don't you seat me in the corner somewhere?
Yes.
It's a big enough table, and we'll be good.
And that's important. It really is, because I've had other influencers not join me, but I've invited other influencers to the restaurant in the past, and I've had customers show concern or the lighting was disrupting their experience, which
So
the
you're
customers
like
come
cognizant of
first.
Yeah.
So we had to adapt and pivot a little bit, but
great.
we were very intentional about it and mindful of placement. So you can be at your best and do your best review and do your best, I guess you would say, have your best experience, because you want to also be able to do your job well.
Exactly.
And I think that's just as important.
I'm getting the shot.
Yes.
The shot is going to get got, So.
So have you ever declined visiting a restaurant before?
That's a good question.
If I've declined, it's because I've been busy, like scheduling, my full-time job versus this.
Wait, this is not your full-time job?
No.
How do you find time for this? It's crazy.
Good point. Yeah,
Wow.
it's really difficult. I go to work for 8 hours and I come home and I'm in my DMs, I'm in my emails, I'm checking my TikTok inbox.
You're dedicated.
Yeah, it's a lot. I've slowed down recently, but when I first got into it, it was like every day I was going to shoot a collaboration, and it really is another full-time job. But the key is that I enjoy what I'm doing. I was doing this, for no one. I was doing this for 30 likes for myself, a couple years ago, and now, it's bigger. So.
Oh yes, and you are being recognized statewide as well. What was the recent publication you posted on your social media, which was such an honor? Congratulations for that.
Thank you
I
so
know you were very
much.
proud of that. Let's share a little bit about
screaming.
that.
So Delaware Online did a interview and just asking me about favorite spots, about how I got started, the pros, the cons. It was really, really a great interview. It actually helped me reflect on myself and really appreciate the journey that I've had to get to this point. But it was really cool. Actually, my husband, you know, I was answering the questions and I'm like, what do you think? And he's like, oh, well, what about this time? And I'm like, oh, you're right. How could I forget? And it was like, he just was like reminding me of like my whole journey up until this point. So it was a great interview, super fun. Also in the paper too, the news journal was super, like to see yourself in the newspaper is
yes, it's real.
Amazing.
Oh, it's real.
It was insane.
It was a beautiful feature.
Yeah, my husband's going to get it laminated for me.
And you should get it framed and
Yes.
hang it up because it not only it was a beautiful feature, but it was very deserving.
Thank
Your
you.
hard work, you're being highlighted and showcased, which is just as important. And as someone who's experienced what you offer, not once but twice, it's worth it. It's worth it. Hire Naomi to come to your restaurant, your small business. But more importantly, how can someone contact you? What is your social media handle?
Yeah, so it's naom.eats. It's a play on my name. My first name's Naomi, so Naomi Eats. And you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok. Even though I'm not on TikTok as much as I am on Instagram, I'm a new TikTok person, but I'm always on Instagram. You can also email me at naomeats@gmail.com. But feel free to reach out. We can talk.
Are there some hidden gems that you've discovered recently, Naomi, aside from V&M Bistro, of course? Are there some other gems that you would love to know, love to the viewers to know about? Because we're always learning about, want to learn new places.
For sure. So there's 2 hidden gems that I actually was thinking about talking today, because I always talk about the sit-down experience, sitting down at a restaurant, having a drink, having food. But there's 2 spots. One is Dark Star Barbecue, which is a pop-up, and where's the camera? Best barbecue in Delaware.
Whoa.
The best brisket. I mean, this guy has us eating pickles. I don't even like pickles. He has my husband eating turkey. He doesn't even like turkey. Like, he is amazing. It's a guy, he goes with his dad, and it's just a pop-up. Every Wednesday at Wilmington Brew Works, he's there serving with the best brisket, the best pulled pork, the barbecue sauce. He makes it from scratch. Like, everything is delicious. It's my favorite. Me and my husband have to go there once a week, and that's no joke.
All right.
Besides them, for dinner, breakfast, I would say Cafe Karma is one of my favorite breakfast places.
Katie,
Katie is amazing, and her food is delicious. I can't get over it. The protein coffees, the ceremonial grade, coffee that they're using, the tea that they're using. Everything is intentional with her, and I like that about her, and it reflects in her business. And I can't go on without a blue matcha latte and a loaded breakfast Sammy. That's my go-to.
All right.
All right, well,
good
Naomi,
recommendations.
thank you so much for joining us. We wish you continued success. And again, we appreciate your authenticity of what you're doing for these businesses, because you are helping many of these restaurants. I mean, as someone who is in this industry for so long, meaning the restaurant industry, it is hard sometimes to figure out what type of marketing to do. And you are giving these restaurants an opportunity to be visible. And the return is there. Someone who's experienced it. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank
and we
you.
wish you lots of luck.
Thank you guys for having me.